In an effort to expand broadband globally, the National Digital Inclusion Alliance has proclaimed this International Digital Inclusion Week, raising awareness that all communities deserve internet access. Joining us now from our Washington, D.C. News Bureau is Connected Nation CEO Tom Ferree. Thanks so much for joining us, Tom.
Great to be with you, Christina.
Let's start with Connected Nation's mission, especially in rural areas.
Sure. Well, we've been fortunate as an organization to be at this for 17 years. And, our main job is to make sure that people in communities can make the best of their lives and their opportunities by better access, adoption, and use of high-speed internet. And the cost of being disconnected right now is probably the highest it's ever been in our nation's history.
You know, we've had you here on the show before. You've made a lot of headway since we last met, and Connected Nation recently launched a version of Digital Works for veterans and military spouses. Why was this so important for Connected Nation to do?
Right. Well, so there's not just geographies that are disconnected. We have classes of people that, for whatever reason, their life circumstance, as unique as it is, has made them somewhat of a disconnected class. And for a while, we've been studying, how can we bring telework into communities to have a strong economic development impact. Telework is one of the fastest growing segments in the labor force today. And, when we started looking at the historic unemployment rates that we've all enjoyed recently, one area that is still lagging is the military spouse and the veteran community. In fact, the military spouse community is confronted with a 26% unemployment rate because of their nomadic nature of base installation to base installation. So we were really excited. It's very gratifying for us to engage that community, give them telework training skills and certifications, and then place them in jobs that can travel with them as they move from installation to installation.
Let's talk more about Connected Nation's role in expanding broadband. What's happening right now at the federal level?
Well, at the federal level, in fact, recent reports from the SEC would suggest that 92% of Americans have access to high-speed internet. But when you cut that by rural or urban, you'll see that nearly a third of rural America is still lacking in what the definition of high-speed internet is. So I think there's a big attention right now to turn inward toward rural America and figure out how we get the infrastructure out there. How do we make the federal investment and entice the CapEx investment from the private sector? So there's a lot of talk about that. We're really optimistic about the new Congress bringing in or reigniting the infrastructure package discussions. We think that's something that this Congress will take up in the early stages as they get seated here in January. So we're really excited about that. We want to make sure that that investment goes to the right places, though. So we are still very hot on making sure that the data is accurate to make sure that it steers those investments in the right way.
We really appreciate the work that you are doing. We appreciate you also keeping us connected. Connected Nation CEO Tom Ferree, thank you so much for joining us today.